Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also make sure you turn off the dishwasher's water supply underneath the sink. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Whirlpool dishwasher pump and motor assembly. It's going to be a very easy repair and it should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new pump and motor assembly. The pump and motor assembly controls the water flow in the dishwasher. The main reason you'd be changing it out is if it's damaged, you're getting water leaking on the floor, or one of the parts on the assembly has failed and you'd rather change out the whole thing instead of rebuilding the pump and motor. In order to change the part, we have to pull the dishwasher out. First thing we're going to do is go underneath the sink and disconnect the lines. Now that we're underneath the cabinets, you want to make sure that the dishwasher is still unplugged, and you may want to throw a towel down. When we take off the fill line and the drain hose, there's going to be some water that comes out. First, we're going to disconnect the fill line. It's connected right here to the hot water valve. You want to make sure the water valve is off, and then we're going to use our 5/8" wrench to loosen up the hose. Once you have it broke free, you can just reach in and unscrew it by hand. Once you have it off, you can just set it down, and then we can take off the drain hose. To take the drain hose off, you just want to follow it up to wherever it goes. It may go to the garbage disposal. Ours goes up to the air gap. Once you locate the end of it, we're going to take a 5/16 nut driver and loosen up the clamp. Once you have the clamp loose, you can pull it free and set it down. Now that we have the lines disconnected, we're going to open up the dishwasher door and pull the rack out so we can set it aside. All you have to do is reach in and grab it and lift it off the door. Now that we have the lower dish rack out, we have to take the parts off so we can get the pump and motor out. We're going to take the lower spray arm off. Just have to turn it to unsnap it, lift it off. And then the fine filter, just have to turn it so it unlocks and lift it out. The coarse filter, all you have to do is reach in and lift it out. And then for the diverter cover, we're not going to take it out. We have to put the flathead screwdriver underneath here to release the locking tab. And we're going to turn it. We grab the hose and carefully guide it out of the cover. We don't want to break the tab off or anything. Once you have it free, you can just lock it back in place. Once you have the supply tube out of the cover, we can use a Phillips screwdriver to take out the screws that hold the dishwasher to the countertop. Once you have the screws out, you can lift up on the door and use it to carefully start to pull the dishwasher out of the cabinet. Once you have it started, we can grab the frame and pull it out the rest of the way. Once you have it out far enough, we're going to put a towel down so we don't damage the floor while we lay the dishwasher on its back. Once you have the towel down, we're just going to carefully lay the dishwasher on its back. Now that we have the dishwasher on its back, we have access to the pump and motor assembly. It's located right here in the center of the dishwasher. We're going to put a towel down to catch any water that may come out. And then we have to take everything off the pump and motor assembly. First thing we're going to do is take off the drain pump. So we're just going to take the pliers and compress the clamp, move it up so we can pull the hose off. Once you have it off, you can just swing it out of the way and set it aside. Now we can remove the wiring harness from the drain pump. It's held in by a little locking tab. We use a small flathead screwdriver to press on it and pull the wiring harness off. Once you have it off, you want to take it out of the little wiring harness holder, set it aside. Then there's a little locking tab right down here. We're going to use the flathead screwdriver to press on it. Once you have it pressed, you can turn the drain pump and take it off the sump. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. Below the drain pump, you have the diverter motor. We don't have to take that off because we get a new one, but we're going to take the wiring harnesses off. Same thing, you just use a small flathead screwdriver to press on the locking tabs and pull the harnesses off. Once you have them off, we're going to take them out of the holder, set them aside. Down at the bottom, we have the circulation pump. It's a wiring harness. Just going to take the small flathead screwdriver and lift up on the tab. Pull the wiring harness out. Then follow it around and unhook it from the other side. It clips onto the motor on the other side. Once you have that out, we can take off the turbidity sensor. Just have to turn this and pull it out. Then we have to release this wire harness holder and get all these wires out of here so we can get the sump body out of it. There's 3 tabs that hold the sump and motor to the tub. We have to swing them over to unlock them. Once you have them out of the way, we're going to grab the sump here and kind of knock on it towards the bottom. The seal might be on there a little bit because of all the soap scum and stuff. Once you break it free, you can set it down into the dishwasher so we can take it out. To get the pump and motor out, we're going to lift the dishwasher back up onto its feet and push it underneath the cabinet a little bit so when we open the door it doesn't fall over. Once you have it in place, we can open up the door and pull the assembly out. Here's the old pump and motor assembly next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. Before you put the new pump and motor in, you want to make sure the seat here where it sits in is nice and clean. And then we're going to take some water and get it wet along with the seal on the new pump and motor assembly so it slides down in there nice and easy. Once you have it wet, we can put the new pump and motor assembly in. You want to make sure that this pin is right here at 6 o'clock. We're going to lift up the water supply tube and set it down into position. And you want to make sure that the pin goes right into the little cutout there. Once you have it pushed down, we can put the dishwasher back on its back. Once you have the pump seated, we can put the locking tabs on. Just have to swing them over so they lock onto the tub. If you have to, you may have to pull down on the sump a little bit to get the sump to come down so you can push it in. Now we can put all the wiring back on. First thing we're going to do is put all the wires through the wire holder. And then we're going to follow the yellow ones down and grab the turbidity sensor and plug it in and turn it so it locks into place. Make sure the arrow lines up right there on that little notch. Then we're going to go down and grab the wiring harness for the pump and make sure it goes through the little holder. Just have to grab it, route it through. Now we can follow the wires around and attach the wire harness to the pump. This one's a little bit different. It's down here, but plugs in the same. Just make sure it goes in and locks in. Then we can hook up the wires to the diverter motor. Remember the red one's on the right, push it in and lock it into place. Blue was on the left. Then you want to put the wires through the holder. And we can put the drain pump back on. To put the drain pump on, just want to get it wet in there a little bit so the O-ring slips down in there easier. Then you want to line it up so the locking tab is towards the back. So when we turn and snap it on, it locks in place. To put the wiring harness in, we're just going to clip it into the pump and then plug it in. You just want to make sure it snaps in so you get a good connection. Once you have that on, we can connect the drain hose. Just have to push it onto the sump. We can grab the pliers and move the clamp down so you get a good seal. Once you have it in place, we can put the dishwasher back up on its feet. Just going to carefully put the dishwasher back on its feet and pull the towel out. Then we can push the dishwasher back in. Now we have to reach underneath and put the lines through the cabinets. We want to push the dishwasher in about halfway. Then we can go underneath the sink and pull on the lines to make sure they're not caught on anything. Then we can push the dishwasher in the rest of the way. Now we can reconnect the drain hose to the air gap. Once you have it pushed up into place, we're going to use our 5/16 inch nut driver to tighten down the clamp. Once you have the drain line hooked up, we can hook up the water line. All you have to do is get it started by hand. Once you have it snug, we can reach in with our 5/8 inch wrench to tighten it down so it doesn't leak. Now that we have the lines reconnected, we're going to open up the dishwasher door and use the Phillips screwdriver to put in the screws to hold the dishwasher to the countertop. Now we have to put everything onto the new pump and motor. The new cover comes already snapped on. So we're going to take a small flathead screwdriver and lift up on it and turn it so we can release it. We're not going to pull it out, but we're just going to turn it so we can carefully get the hose lined up and then turn it and lock it back in place. Once you have that in, we can put the filters in. The coarse filter goes in first. Just have to put it underneath these two tabs and set the other side down. Then we can put the fine filter in. Just want to set it down so this tab right here is lined up with the lock. And then turn it so it actually locks in. Once you have it in, we can put the spray arm in. Just have to line it up with the base and turn it so it locks in. Once you have the spray arm back on, we can put the lower dish rack back in. Just set it on the door and push it back into place. Once you have it in, we can close the door. Then we can plug it back in, turn the water back on, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.